back to the ESL Late Night Skill Cups. I am Passer from Passer 2300, and we are almost ready here. The brackets, I believe, have been closed. It is 10:02 a.m. here. It is not at the night time for me, but it is nighttime for all you lovely people out there in the land of StarCraft. And I'm just gonna make sure everybody knows where we are. Other than that, we probably already have our first match, just waiting for the brackets to be made. One of Spain contacted me, so until he gets here, we are going to put on some music, mute my mic, and get this party on the road. It's a long night ahead of us, and we gotta go into it strong. Let's see. So here's from Two Steps from Hell, a 2-hour mix.
How fast am I?
So fast! You want to see fast?
Alright, I'm just gonna turn off the music for now. We're just about to get into the game. We got contacted Juan of Spain versus Troy. This is going to be in the Gold/Platinum League tournaments. So please keep that in mind. The Bronze and Silver we may do. There are only 6 people in the Gold and Plat. So if we have way too long of a delay, if it's like a minute or so more of delay where we're not getting games, then I'll go down there and try and get someone from the Bronze and Silver Cups as well. But we'll have to see how it's gonna go. Obviously, happy 4th of July, everybody. Welcome BJB 143, Panic Cats 2, and Sinestro Psycho. And we're just waiting for Juan of Spain to finish the veto system here. Just having a little bit of trouble. He's trying to decide if it's on Season 2 or Season 3. And let me close out that Skype there so no one is tempted to hear Skype going off. That is from the caster and admin tournaments. Not the tournaments, but the Skype group where they're talking. And Juan of Spain getting these vetoes underway. And this is going to be a good match. Troy is a platinum player. Juan of Spain always does well in these tournaments. And apparently his little brother is watching, or big brother. So hi, Juan of Spain Jr. or Senior, whichever one it is. And he says he's almost done with veto, and I'll believe that once we get the invite. And this is going to be on the new map system, so if you guys haven't had a chance to play them yet, this is going to be a good opportunity for you to see basically how this play out. Let me check what Juan of Spain is, because I know Troy is a Terran player, and we got invited to the party. Wait, let me check Troy one more time, make sure I have the right guy here. No, he's actually a Zerg. So this is going to be a ZVZ unless Juan of Spain or Troy decides to do a different race. A lot of people like to off race sometimes in these tournaments just to get some practice with them. And the first map in this best of 3 series is going to be Coda LE. It's not one of the newer maps just yet, but the 3 maps chosen are Bridgehead, Coda, and Moonlight. And then right after Coda, we're going to head straight into Bridgehead, and the final map is Moonlight. Troy is ready. Juan of Spain, I'm assuming, is ready. Let's get some last minute things out of the way. Yeah, Beastworthy, what's up, man? Welcome to the game. Welcome to the chat. And we're going to hop right in the game as soon as possible. And we're just going to get everybody in this chat. That was a bigger stretch than I thought it'd be, but still just hanging out right here in the lobby. Just waiting on Troy to say ready. And we got the 10-second countdown. Let's see. Everything's all set up. Not the best at making small talk during these things, but let's give it a shot, shall we? Hopefully you can see the game too. That's always been an issue. If you can't see the game, message me in-game. It's a lot easier. Or you can say it in the chat. I'll be checking chat the first couple of seconds just to make sure. Actually, I'm just going to put the video preview on. Check that in 2 minutes. Make sure that is on where I need to be. And we're going to hop right into game number 1. from the clan Poop, representing Poop, it is Juan of Spain. Yeah, I got nothing to say to that. And one of the tournament locals, he is representing Derp, it's Troy. So Juan of Spain, I have seen him in these tournaments a lot. He is a regular by this point. And Troy, also one of the regulars of this tournament. Both players very powerful, I believe. Juan of Spain has gone very far. Troy, I believe, has won it a couple of times now. But I can't remember if he did. We do have these overlords going across the map in pretty standard ZVZ fashion. They are going to meet up. This is like a meet and greet between two rival broods. It's like, hey, sorry dude. It's like, it's alright. I already told him where your zerglings are. And back to the game. Juan of Spain going for a hatch. And, not a hatch first, but an extractor. Oh, I actually didn't notice this. This is, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first bit of cheese for this tournament. It is a 10 pool. And he's going to have speed behind it. So Troy needs to get that scout off as soon as possible. He's actually going for a hatch first. This is not looking good for him so far in this first game. While he does have the drone count, he won't have the zerglings out in time by the time this gets across the map. A little supply block there kept those zerglings from coming out just yet, but 6 are on the way. Now this is almost all in from Juan of Spain. Unless he does massive amounts of damage, he's not going to be able, Troy that is not going to be able to stabilize off the back of this. He's got his gas up, the spawning pool has now started, and he's actually going to see these zerglings across the map. How will he react? I don't think you can throw down a spine crawler until you have the spawning pool up. But behind this, Juan of Spain just getting, and on the back of this he is getting that metabolic boost. That is going to make these guys a lot faster than their counterparts on the other side of the map. Excuse me there. And here we go. 6 and 7 zerglings on the way. They are heading straight for the main. Not even going to bother with that hatchery down there. They want to go straight for the drones. It looks like good micro out of Troy so far, not losing any. He's fighting with drones, and he's actually doing pretty well. Surrounds one zergling, and on the back of this, Juan of Spain is going to go for that spawning pool. If that dies, it is game over. Juan of Spain doing some good little micro, making sure his zerglings don't die immediately. And we do have 4 zerglings on the way. That's not going to be enough. That may be enough to hold off this first attack, but there are plenty more streaming across the map. We have 6 more. And so far, we only lost 2 drones. So good micro out of Troy. He really needs to just defend this ramp. That's pretty much forfeit. He can't really engage into this, especially with speed about to finish. He needs to block off the ramp. He's got to sacrifice his natural. Juan of Spain is not going to be able to take his own for a bit because he's going all in with this attack. But the Queen is actually going to get surrounded here. That's not too good. Will Troy be able to hold this? The Queen, so close to death, actually lives, and it looks like Troy's going to be able to hold for a bit. He's still in a lot of trouble here. This is all in from Juan of Spain. He's just making zerglings. He has his Queen out, but that's not really important because it's just to make sure he can make more zerglings. The ramp is being defended. This hatchery is going to be a point of contention here. If this lives, Troy is going to be so ahead of his opponent. On the back of this, speed halfway done. He needs to hold out until that is complete. This Overlord going to get out of there. And the hold on the ramp making a good engagement for Troy, but it's not really seeing the other side of this. Still no gas, so he's not trying to get. So Juan of Spain is not trying to get into banelings behind this. But that wall off on the ramp is going to save Troy for a bit. That hatchery's about to go down. Troy, you can't really engage into this. Block the ramp. A couple zerglings get by, but they are getting picked off immediately, and that hatchery is going to go down. Troy's zerglings starting to get a bit low on health, as are Juan of Spain's. and he just keeps making Zerglings on the back of this. By this point, I think Troy has more than enough minerals to start mining gas and just get a couple Banelings. And that wall off on the ramp is going to save Troy for a very long time. Juan of Spain, this attack is pretty much dead in the water unless you can make something happen. And there we go. We have a Baneling nest on the way. Once that completes, it's going to make Troy so far ahead. He's already got the 6 worker advantage, and this drone's going to go down there, try and make another hatchery. But GG comes out of Troy. The Juan of Spain able to get up that ramp and take game number 1 in the cheesiest Zerg fashion you can imagine. Just check this. Yeah, you can see anything. It's alright, Beastworthy. Don't ever be too scared to sign up for these things. And that goes for the rest of you. Never be afraid to sign up for these things. Everybody here is so nice. Like, this is one of the best communities to go. Plus, these are officially sponsored ESL events. Like, the same company that is bringing you WCS and IEM is bringing you these tournaments. So obviously there is everything. There's nothing to gain from these tournaments. You do get coaching. So I lied. There is stuff to gain from these tournaments. Please note I lie a lot on the stream, apparently, mainly because my information is always bad. But Juan of Spain going into this game with a commanding lead. The thing about it is it's a best of 3, so he has one more game to win. So before I get on to sentimentals about what's going on here, representing down here in the bottom position of Bridgehead, it is representing Poop, Juan of Spain, up 1 game. And in the other position, he is representing Derp, our Orange Zerg, Troy. So the thing about this map is it's a bit weird to play around. You do have these rocks in the back, which if broken down give you direct access to the natural bases. Natural bases are here. A third base very far out for here, so you really do need good creep spread for that. And there are a lot of bridges, hence the name Bridgehead. In terms of a ZVZ, I have seen one ZVZ on here. It was using these rocks right here as a hidden distraction while you make spine crawlers and a hatchery on this side of the map. That was fellow caster 8A96 on his stream the other day. And we do have these guys going across the map. Hey, sorry dude, sorry about that 10 pool there. It's like, no worries man, you're good, you're good. You have nothing to do with it, you just give them the supply to do it. And then when they're far enough away, jerk. It's like, non-scouter. But on the back of this, both players going for a 10 pool. That is hilarious. And Troy gonna have the gas a lot faster than Juan of Spain to get his speed out. 6 Zerglings are ready for him. And on the other side of the map, 6 Zerglings about to pop for Troy. So this is going to be a war of micro. Troy is going to have the metabolic boost a lot quicker. Juan of Spain still doesn't have the gas for it yet. And 2 more Zerglings. The first 6 are on the way. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to meet in the center of the map. They are move commanded, actually. That's going to be a bit of a problem if these guys catch them. They are not move commanded. They are attack move commanded. So they are going to get the first shots off in this engagement. And seeing this, Juan of Spain decides to go home and defend. So Troy's going to have to start putting on the pressure. There will be more than enough Zerglings at home to defend, however. He could use the ramp as a staging point, but this is a much larger ramp than what you normally see in a Blizzard SC2 map. And other than this, Juan of Spain not really able to do too much. This Overlord may get taken out. But at the moment, he just has to defend until his metabolic boost is complete. These 6, just making sure he's not going to move out. He's got more on the way. It's going to get spotted by this Overlord. It's pretty hard to miss. And this Overlord is going to die. That is going to put him in a little bit of a bad spot for another about 15 seconds. But here we go. Speed is done for Troy. He's going to try and get something done with these drones. He kills off one already. That is very good. He gets into great positions there between the assimilator and the minerals. But this is not a straight up fight he can take. I feel he's going to get cleaned up here. 12 more Zerglings going to rally across the map. Lol GG. And he's just going to decide not to force the issue here. Juan of Spain takes game number 2, and he takes the series. So Juan of Spain is going to move on. Since there are so few people, he's going to go to the semifinal. So let's see what else I can get here in terms of gameplay. Beastworthy, the cap on rank in this tournament is for the gold and plat. There it goes from diamond master, then gold and plat, and then bronze and silver. That's so everybody on these late night cups can get some good playing time in with people of similar skill. There's also on Wednesday the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum diamond tournaments, as well as the ESL NA Open. That is open to anybody. Other than that, not too much else. I kind of want to wait until this game is done before I start asking who wants to be casted, so nobody let's get some stuff up here. All bronze, silver. Let's see what else here. Mr. Stork made diamond, so make sure you congratulate him if you see him on ladder. And other than that, let's put on some music and just have some fun here. Let's get back to what I was playing. 2 Steps from Hell, the best from them. Let's put it on that one, and we'll be back. Okay, we're gonna have to get back to that song. That was an awesome hype song. Beastworthy, I will try and get him after I take care of the other things. Okay, so we're hopping right into game number 1. Juan of Spain versus Cubo. It is a TVT. Uh-oh. That's maybe a problem here. As you guys saw last time, Juan of Spain is not a Terran player. He's a Zerg player. You are allowed to off-race in these tournaments. You just have to tell them which race you're going to play before the series begins. So you can actually switch between races in between games as long as you let them know which one you're going to be playing. So before I say anything else, spawning up here in the bottom position representing Poop, it is Juan of Spain. And up here in the top position representing himself and his country of Korea, he's the lone Korean representing himself, it's Cubo. Yeah, I should make a new drinking game. Every time I say representing himself in that sentence, you should have to take a drink. I can't drink because I'm casting, but yeah. Other than that, we saw how Juan of Spain likes to play his ZVZ, in that he probably doesn't like going into the Roach War portion of it. He did play very aggressive with that cheesy 10 pool. So we'll have to see what he decides to do as Terran. Terran cheese is not as effective, especially not against another Terran. Cubo is... If Cubo is able to hold off the early aggression, he's going to be so far ahead. But so far, Juan of Spain deciding he wants to play it pretty standard. He's got his racks going down. And it is gas first out of Cubo. This is a standard Terran opening. This is also a standard Terran open. And, oh, I spoke too soon. This is 2 racks on the way. It's not going to be a Reaper opening. Not going to be anything like that, merely because there's no gas. So there are 2 racks being made. A third also on the way. So he's just going to go for a big bio push really early on, I feel. Just make a huge sum of Marines and attack. That is really effective in the lower leagues. I don't know how it's going to be effective versus Cubo, who is a what's his rank? Platinum level player. See, they all look the same after a while. I'm not Leaguist. But he's going to get that scout off, and with that gas first, he's going to be able to get factories out as quickly as possible. He's going for that Reaper opening. So he's gonna get a good scout off no matter what he decides to do here. He's not queuing up, so it's not gonna be like what you would do in a TVZ, mainly because it's a TVT. We do have the factory on the way. Once he sees that there are going to be a lot of Marines in the production, then he's gonna know something is up here. Like, this scout is really important. You don't really see this too much if you're a higher level. You probably see this a lot if you're on if you're in bronze, silver, gold. But he does get supply blocks, so he has to break down a depot because he does not want to stop his marine production. He's waiting on more minerals to throw down an additional gas, but this Reaper going to see everything here, and oh my gosh, this is an all-in out of Juan of Spain. This Reaper is going to be so confused here. Hellions are on the way. That could help out immensely. But this Reaper's gonna... That's not really PM. That's just being funny there. Wait. What's going on here? I don't really know what's going on here, but the bunkers are going down. The Marines are in production. He could hold this better if he had a siege tank. A Hellion's not really going to help him so much. But there are 2 Reapers here, but here we go. The bunker's not done yet. Are these bunkers gonna complete? That is the big question here. If they complete, then this is going to be a wonderful hold out of Cubo. And it looks like Cubo holds this very convincingly. Workers put off the line. Juan of Spain taps out. Cubo takes game number 1 in this best of 3 series. So we've been having some really fast games. That's actually really funny. Zicklepack, what's up? Good to see you here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. You guys know I love it when you guys come around, and it's great to have that support. If you're not already, hit that follow button. It's what keeps me doing what I do. Well, I do it because I'm funny and like talking to people who can't talk back because they are on the computer. But we all have our reasons. Get some water there. That's a disgusting sound. You guys should not have to have me here do that for you. And Cubo needs 1 second. Drink water and calm down. Yeah, Cubo probably a little rattled after seeing that kind of playstyle out of Juan of Spain. That was something you really don't see, but that was one of the best all-ins I have ever seen. It didn't work, but it was funny. It's an entertaining game. I think that's Juan of Spain's goal here in this tournament. Be entertaining as possible. Yeah, Cubo is in the spectator's position. So we're just waiting on Cubo to get back. Other than that, if you guys been enjoying so far, I've already done my my little spiel here about all that. Well, you need an ready. Cubo is back. So guys, if you want to see Cubo go on to the, I think this is the finals after this. Let's do some stuff while I wait. Oh, that is lagging me out to heck. But is the one bear cheesier master no matter the race? Yeah, I think so, Zicklepack. But he's back to Zerg now, representing Poop. It is Juan of Spain. I guess he's going back to what he knows best. And down up here in the top position, representing himself, it's Cubo. Did you know? Okay. We are going to be doing the bronze silver finals, by the way, guys. I promised Bloody Rafe that I would do it since it's only me and Pluto today. That's a bit of an issue. We've been having some caster shortages, even though we have like almost every single caster in ESL in our organization. We are ESL. But other than that, Juan is already past 10 pooling, so he's not going to 10 pool this time. He's going to play a standard game. Let me just tell Bloody Rafe. Be there after this series. Cubo 1-0. And Juan of Spain not going to cheese this time, so will Cubo react to this? I don't think he knows he's Zerg just yet, unless it was specified, excuse me, that Juan of Spain will be playing Zerg. That is one of the rules. I don't really know if they did that because they didn't invite me to the veto process. I feel so left out. But it's okay. And looks like he's trying to type something. Maybe. That's usually why you have 0 APM, but maybe he just tried to grab some water, but here we go. He's going to throw down a hatchery right now, making sure no kind of bunker, no kind of cheesy play out of Cubo, who during this series, aka one game, has decided to play standard. And to do so very well. No problem, take your time, still teaching them how to upload the Flamin' Replay tool. Okay, that is Bloody Rafe. She is our best admin. Make sure you say thank you for all the work she does here. She's ESL League admin, and she will get on my butt if I do anything wrong here. So let's keep everything moving. We do have the factory going down after the Reaper, so this looks to be just a one Reaper into Fast Hellion expansion here. But he's actually not expanding just yet. So this is not a Reaper Fast expand, which is what you usually do against Zerg. By this point, he does know that Juan of Spain is a Zerg, just because that is the ugliest Banshee I have ever seen and is way too quick. So yeah, he knows he's a Zerg player now. And on the other side of the map, Juan of Spain hasn't really chosen a tech path yet. He's going for his extractors, so this could be roaches, I think. That may be his best option here. If Cubo is not able to make enough units in time, roach attack is very powerful, especially with a +1. This Reaper's getting dangerously close to dying here. One queen coming around trying to catch it. And this drone is going to die unless it turns into that spine crawler you see right there. And Cubo deciding to take this expansion on the back. This is not a bad option, I feel. But let me just tell you guys something if you haven't seen this map yet. You got debris here and you have debris over here. That debris gets broken down very quickly, especially by roaches. I have not told you the number of times, 3, that I have been beaten on this ramp because of things like that. And I'm guessing the Reaper just died. Actually, it didn't. That is very surprising here. I guess that no is something else. Let me see what he has here. I don't really see why he's saying no. Did he lose no, he didn't lose any resources. One Overlord is the only casualty of this game. But this Marine spread is very smart out of Cubo, making sure that nothing is going to surprise him on the backside while he gets that orbital out, while he gets that Banshee pumping, that cloak done, and that third command center in production. Juan of Spain's got to be careful here. That Marine can see over the rocks. He is a super Marine. He's got laser vision in his eyes. Paid for by the Dominion. It's very expensive, but you know what? Every soldier is worth it. And the Reaper just going to hold the watchtower for now, making sure that nothing's going to come outside the backside, as I've said before. Because that is very popular for Zerg on this map this early on. Reaper probably just going to go to the other Zelnaga tower, make sure nothing is there. And we do have the Banshee. This was perhaps spotted by this Overlord over here. If it hasn't been, Juan of Spain's going to be in a world of hurt. The lair is not done, so he can't morph an Overseer, and no Spore Crawlers on the way. We got this guy chilling out. He's on strike, but his brothers are just stepping over him. For the good of the swarm, he must get out of their way. But here comes the Banshee. It's cloaked, and it's going to get some massive kills here if Juan of Spain doesn't react in time. He's reacting now, but it's a little too late. Already 4 kills have gone down on this Banshee. Spore Crawler is finally on the way. And this Banshee's just going to town here. Still nothing on this side of the map. And the Banshee's going to scout everything. He sees the Roach Warren. He sees everything, pretty much. That is a very good scout. That is a lot of damage for Cubo. But will he be able to hold off this +1 roach attack is the question here. He has plenty of resources into workers and units, and he is going to make a lot of SCVs on the back of this. So I think Cubo is in a very good position here, and that's not my Terran bias, that's just stating facts. But these roaches are pretty good. They are about to have +1 before they go in for the attack. And this is not looking too good for Juan Spain. He's only on 2 bases, and Cubo has 3. Even though this one's not mining, it's giving its support. Juan Spain, I hate Banshees. Every Zerg does. If you tell me one Zerg that doesn't hate a Banshee, you are lying. But we do have 3 racks on the way as well. For the longest time, he was on 1 barracks production, harboring a lot of minerals here. That's just showing it's Platinum and Gold League players. But that's alright. I'm Plat myself. I love the way they play. He could start Marauder production as soon as possible here. That's going to really help out against these roaches. A double engineering bay, also going to make sure he doesn't fall too far behind in the upgrades. Finally takes the gas over here. He's not transferring workers just yet. He doesn't see it just yet. These two are going to go idle for a couple seconds here, if not selected. But he is supply block. Like, this supply block is going to hurt him for a bit. Juan Spain almost supply block, but not really. And we do have these 2 Banshees moving across the map here. Going to get a secondary scout off. A very aggressive scout. Reaper coming along for the ride. And 4 Banshees is going to wreck face here. It could focus down that queen, and then there's no anti-air. It's Overseer. It can do a lot of things, but it can't attack. And the queen's out of position, so these are going to get a lot of damage. A lot of Widowmine shots about to go off here. Not the best damage, but still a lot of damage. And this attack is pretty much killed off before it could even get across the map. Roaches are still a powerful unit here. They do have +1. +1 is nowhere near done for Cubo, but... So actually, Juan Spain might actually take this game this way. He's got 4 Marauders on the other side of the map for Cubo. Barracks nowhere, bunkers nowhere near done. Juan Spain's in a pretty good position if he can break this attack. He has no anti-air. I'm starting to scream here because I can't hear anything. But this attack is shut down. More Zerglings streaming across the map. They do not have speed. This attack dies, and with it, I think Juan Spain may have lost this game. But there's nothing to shoot up. That Widowmine wasting its shot on that Overseer. These Zerglings do get in, but try and get the wraparound, but it's not enough. Charge, GG, and Cubo takes the game 2-0. So great games out of Cubo. He is going to advance to the finals, I believe. Let me just check my brackets that I have up. And from here, we're going straight. We are going to go straight to the Bronze Silver Finals. I promise Bloody Wraith I'll do it. Some Invictus. Let's see how he's doing, because everybody loves some Invictus here. Patch to 2300 hype. Word. Alright. God Complex. Yeah, well, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And on the gold and platinum side of things, I'm pulling up the chats right now, guys. Some Invictus is playing Yorkie in the semifinals. We wish him the best of luck. And I'm just clearing up some things. Oh, hang on. We may be still in this series. Best of 3 for semis. invite when ready. And we're just gonna get into the bronze, silver. Yeah. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna do it well. Yeah, they are uploaded to YouTube. So yeah, also these VODs are gonna be available as youtube.com/gamersdeed as well. And Bloody Rafe's gonna get us into a party. We got Jimmy Holtz here. He is your Silver League first finalist. We're waiting on Smoke. Smoke, a very powerful Protoss player. And while we're waiting, let's just put on some music here for the moment. Thank you guys for tuning in, and let's get that music playing before you tell me to shut up again. Alright guys, it is the bronze and silver finals here. It is a best of 7. Don't worry about it. The finals of the gold and plat are still going to be played out. They're going to wait on us. You know why? Because we are the party train. You can't go have the finals without the party train and the hype. So we're going to do these bronze silver finals. Also, let's give a shout out to some of the people in chat. Shout out, let me get this Twitch shout out. Shout out to BJB143, aka Juan of Spain. You got some awesome games there, man. Good job in the tournament. Let's see, who else we got here in chat? SC2 Pluto, straight from SC2 Pluto, the stream that's going on the other side of the world. He is doing the, what do you call it? Diamond and Master level tournaments. How about we put this next to my face so you can actually hear me? I think that is something that can help out the stream quality a bit. But yeah, shout out to BJB143 for having a great tournament for us. A Scarecrow, he's an admin. He is here too. Thank you, man. SC2 Pluto, he's a fellow caster. He's a good guy. He's awesome. So if you want to watch the Diamond Master League tournament, he's the guy to go to. Zicklepack, I love having you here, dude. You're awesome. I love it when you come around. Blood Wraith, she is the queen of this tournament. She is what makes it run, make sure everything is going smooth. And Panicats 2, welcome to the stream, dude. Let me just post some stuff in chat. Is that working? So we're just doing the vetoes at the moment here. We're in a party with Blood Wraith, Jimmy Hots, and Smoke. Jimmy Hots and Smoke are your 2 finalists. There were only 3 players, but you know what? We keep going no matter how few or how many we got. And also, happy 4th of July to all you guys in America. Just because we have a multinational tournament here doesn't mean we have to forget about the good old US of A. So if you got fireworks going off in your ear somewhere nearby, make sure you know those fireworks are for you winning this tournament if you're in this tournament. But we're just going to claim those fireworks in the name of StarCraft. And Smoke is going to get his 3rd map. So far we have as the first map Dash Terminal. Second map's going to be Coda, an old favorite. Smoke just checking out the maps, making sure he gets the best for his buck. Let me get some water here so I don't cough my way out of here. Yeah, Nightbot is excited. Still waiting on that 3rd map by Smoke. It's tempting to put the music back on just because it is so epic music. That is from 2 Steps from Hell. If you guys haven't heard of them, they are this group. It's 2 people, so it's not technically it's a group, it's a duo of, I believe, Swedish guys, but all that epic music you have heard from any action movie within the last probably 10 years, they probably made it. You know, they had Heart of Courage, To Glory. They do a lot of trailer work. They do a lot of just pretty much, they make the epic music that you hear almost every day. I've seen it in documentaries, I've heard it in movies, I've heard it in movie trailers. And I think they did something with Lord of the Rings as well. So if you're a Rings fan, then they got something for you. Smoke chooses Terraform as the 3rd map. 4th map is going to be Iron Fortress. 5th map, Smoke taking his time, probably having a smoke just to make sure his head is clear. Smoking does not clear your head, however, guys. Do not condone smoking or drinking in excess. Just making sure I get that out there in case anyone is underage and Twitch doesn't ban me for saying smoking and drinking. Doesn't matter, I'm underage in the US of A as well, so don't worry about it, guys. Fifth map is going to be Cactus Valley out of Born Go Smoke. I'm just going to make sure I know what these clan tags mean, just because we get some funny ones. Born Gosu. See, I've been in this StarCraft for like 2 years now, and I still have no idea what Gosu means. If you know what it means, say so in the chat. And sixth map is going to be Bridgehead. You are welcome, Beastworthy, by the way. It's always good to have you guys out here. Kapow, Zicklepack, that is right. And Moonlight Madness is going to be the seventh map. Smoke, a Protoss player. Jimmy Hotz is a... what is he? He's all in as well. That is a good clan to have. He is a Zerg player. It's always funny seeing the profiles of players this early in the series, because you either have a whole lot of people or a whole lot of nothing. You have very few games. But to play in this tournament, just make sure you guys know that you have to be ranked. That is just to make sure we have no Smurfs. Smurfs are terrible. They ruin everybody's fun in these tournaments. But other than that, Bloody Rave says check your race, and we're just gonna get into this game. I'm excited. You guys should be excited too. Bring the hype, bring the spam, bring the copy pasta, bring whatever you need to get hype. I don't know if I have Nightbot set up, so if you get banned, sorry, but we're hopping right in the game. The PVZ, and here we go. Count it down with me. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And if I'm too loud for you guys, or if the game's too loud so that you can't hear me, please let me know in chat. You got about 2 minutes before I hear it, but it's still a 2 minutes of agony is better than having a whole game of agony. Please note that doesn't mean if you just don't like hearing me talk, because it goes back to what they say. It's okay to not like things, but don't I can't actually say it on stream because I don't like Twitch getting on my case. They actually got on my case for saying it the other day. Someone reported me, but for something stupid. So that was actually pretty funny. I had like 2 people, and they got mad at me for saying I can't say it, just in case. But while I'm trying to be a PC person representing all in up here, it is Jimmy Hotz. And up here in the bottom position, representing Born Gosu, it's Smoke. Not my best intros, but I finally get to do this. Control Shift 7. It's a best of 7, guys. And both players looking to get this game underway. We have the first pylon about to be thrown down here. Gonna wall off because this is a Zerg player. Now, for those of you who haven't seen this map yet, this is your path you go to attack. This is the closest way to get to your opponent, unless you break down the rocks at, where are they? Yeah, right here. If you break down these rocks, you have a much faster attack path. Now, there is a gold expansion here for each player, as well as an island base that is not connected. So this is a pretty interesting map other than all of that, because you can wall this off all you want. Guess what? Yeah, this goes all the way around. That's why I vetoed this map myself. They probably want to get it out of the way as quickly as possible, is what I'm thinking here, unless they love this map. You know, a lot of the new maps are a bit weird, but I like them just because they stopped from the norm for Blizzard. They started making maps that had already broke their rules pretty much. And that's a great change. I like the new maps just because they're different. I don't like some of these maps just because they are OP for certain races. Like here, you can get a lot of blink play done as a Protoss player. But enough about my balance wine, enough about my map wine. This is not a Velo stream. This is the tournament of a lifetime. And what is Smoke going to try and do here? He did see the probe, Jimmy Hots did. And we did have a forge on this side of the map, so it looks like Smoke wanted to cannon rush. Thing about cannon rushing is you can't put buildings on the creep. That spawning pool would have died, and there's actually a location where if you put a cannon here, you would hit the mineral line, but I don't really think it's too worth it, just because by this point there are Zerglings on the way. Smoke just going to scout out, see if anything's tricky here. He does know about this expansion. Pretty standard timing for a Zerg. And on the other side of the map, we do have a Zealot finishing off this wall. Photon cannon, making sure that no Zerglings slip through. No information is going to be revealed. This is the NSA right now, except it doesn't have Robert Snowden in it. Yes, I went there. We do have the Zerglings going to keep an eye on the control tower on the top position, making sure that no blink stalkers are going to come down that way. Cybernetics core almost finished. Jimmy Hot's starting to bank a lot of minerals. No gas just yet. Excuse me. So while we're waiting for this game to unfold, it looks like Smoke is going to be very aggressive here with his forge. Getting that +1 attack is usually indicative of a very aggressive Protoss player. And he's going to send his probe down here, do some scouting, and hide a pylon in a very hidden position. Nowhere near this third, nowhere near this third, or this third. That's not a third, that is a gold base, but you know, you get the drift by this point. But the one problem? There we go. He fixed the problem. I'm pretty sure these players watch the stream sometime. You know why? Sometimes I just look at a building and all of a sudden they do what they're supposed to do. And he is going to get a full wall off here almost. That is a bit weird if that is a full wall off. Maybe a couple pixels. Never mind on there. But the second gateway is going to go down. That brings him up to 2 gateways. That's going to be 1 so far, plus that 1. That is 2. I may have failed math, but I know my stuff. And the pylon is done. The probe hanging out on the bottom side. This Overlord just kind of chilling. But so far, Smoke not able to really put on any aggression just yet. He's not chrono boasting into a warp gate, however. That's a pro tip. If you're going to be super aggressive, get that out as soon as possible. And this is revealed. It's a 4 gate. On the other side of the map, we have these 4 Zerglings. Not much else in defense. Let's just zoom between them. This guy was never selected. That's kind of sad. He's like the guy picked last in softball. Of course, if you're playing softball, I'm not even gonna finish that. I don't want anyone on my butt. And the Roach Warren is on the way as well. Will Jimmy Hots just have enough units to break this aggression here? The 4 gate, there's actually no units on the other side of the map for Smoke other than that 1 Zealot, so he may be able to hold another sentry, double sentry production on the way while that warp gate finishes. 4th gateway is complete, and here we go. He's probably going to wall off the ramp, make sure no reinforcements from the main can get in. But other than that, this game is starting to take shape here. A big slew of roaches just got warped in. Most are in the main, so if those sentries... Excuse me there, that is not professional. But if those sentries were here across the map a bit quicker, then that would have been really bad for Jimmy Hots. But so far, we do have the roaches complete and just chilling out by their hatchery. They're not ready for the world yet, but they know they must go out for the swarm. They're like little newborns here. They don't want to get off the creep just yet. That's pretty much how roaches are in this game. One zealot gonna go in and he's gonna see everything. That's not good for him because he's gonna die before he can get any kind of damage done. 4 sentries, 4 stalkers, everything's a 4. It's a 4 gate, but it's gonna be a 5 gate, so he kind of ruins it in that regard. 3 more stalkers on the other side of the map. Jimmy Hot's still harboring a bit too many minerals, but he is doing good on his production. He's spending all his larvae before he even gets them. And he's actually going to attack this 4 gate on the other side of the map's going to put on pressure, but Smoke actually sees this, sees the move out, and he's going to decide whether to attack or not. He warps into the mortal using the special sentry trick of hallucination. That's going to be a few less force fields. But will he be able to defend on the other side of the map? You have 2 photon cannons, so no burrowed roaches. Burrow's not even complete, so that's not even an issue. Hydrogen gonna finish up, and Jimmy Hot's actually gonna come back to defend this. That is pretty bad for this army. Smoke is cut off. There's no force fields remaining. That guardian shield. Mortal gets focused down, so it did its job of hallucination. But the roach is going to come back, and it looks like they may be able to clean this up. A lot of losses, though, on drones. 11 dying so far. And Smoke's trapped. Get 8 more roaches about to pop. He needs to start warping in on the other side of the map to defend. Good force fields, however, are going to segment this army, but it's not going to be enough. This entire force just gets taken out. He's still morphing in on the other side of the map. He's trying to make this work. It's not going to work. The thing about Protoss 4 gate, you need to have it snowball. It did not snowball. He did do a lot of damage in the drone count, however. That's not the button. That is. 11 drones died to that attack. It's not nowhere near enough. These are now +1 roaches versus +1 everything else. Mothership Core getting some free hits off. Needs to go across the other side of the map and do some photon overcharge shenanigans here. The skill cannon. And there we go. It does recall back to that Nexus. Was still enough for 1 photon overcharge. He's got to make it count. Cancels. Smoke cancels that Nexus. That is a good choice from him. He doesn't want to waste the minerals on something silly there. Starting to warp in at home. More photon cannons. He's investing very heavily into this defense. Will it be enough? We will have to see. A lot of roaches could really hurt Smoke's day. The Hydroden has been done for a while, and just now 4 Hydras are on the way. No upgrades just yet. And very good force field out of Smoke. He's going to segment this army off. But that's the lone force field. Will Jimmy Hotz break this line of defense? It doesn't look like it yet. You got roaches in the back, not able to fire. A little bit of micro would help, but unfortunately he's just kind of stuck there between the pylons, trying to focus down a couple more pylons. That is not the best force field. I think you can get through that. But for the moment, Smoke is going to hold. Very good hold out of him. Out of Smoke, that is. And Jimmy Hotz needs to regroup his forces on the other side of the map. The Hydras are here now, so we'll have to see if they can make a difference, because Smoke deciding to get more aggressive before Hotz can really get his macro back up to the way he needed. I don't know if he missed a couple injects there, but he's only got 3 larvae, and he's a little bit out of position here. Smoke could go just quite around these forces. Pylon down here hidden in the typical Protoss fashion, and Smoke's going to move across the map. It looks like Hotz may have to go for a base trade here. He did get rid of a lot of units on the other side of the map, so I don't know how it would end with the base trade. But Hotz may decide to come back as well just to defend. It's up to him. Still, the second base has not gone down, so up to 3 bases. Hotz has that income advantage by a large margin. You may not think that's a large margin, but that is a very big in this game. And he's just going to drone up from here. You know, he feels pretty secure in himself, and Groove Spine's about to finish. I'm just going off on tangents here. Don't worry about me, guys. It'll come to that back. but the carapace is almost done. Lair is complete, so he can start +2 at any time. But here comes the next attack. That photon cannon not in range just yet. Sentry's warping in, but it's too late. Forces of good force fields try and block these units out. The sentries died, but this is not looking good for Smoke. He mass recalls out of there, knowing he has to defend this. Will it be enough? The Hydra's just got so much DPS. Mothership Core dies. The army is kind of segmented here. These guys need to get back into the attack. But that is the last warp-in of Stalkers that will see the light of day. Units just streaming across the map for Hots, and I think he has this game in the bag. Still a lot of roaches, still a lot of Hydralisks. These 3 Stalkers die, and GG. Smoke is going to tap out here. Jimmy Hots takes game number 1. I got people looking at me funny just because I mispronounce words. Ain't that life? But Smoke had something going there, but let me check on what you guys are saying. You insolent water bottle. Hey, DJ Spectre, can't see video because my data connection is crap. Yeah, I probably am digging this up, DJ, but you know how it is. It's not a real stream of passers if I'm not digging it up.
You're insulting me?
Yeah. DJ's not even here anymore. He went back to Pluto's stream. So DJ, if you guys don't know, DJ is one of those guys. He is either a massive troll or drunk. Usually both at the same time. Ready? You don't need. Ready? You don't need to wait on me to be ready. Yeah, I'm good whenever. Okay, and we're going into game number 2. Jack Ripper is actually in the other room, so he's trying to be funny. Usually he just calls me a hamster, but water bottle is a new one. But we're just waiting on Rafe to start the game. Smoke probably doesn't want to be Terran here in this situation. That would be cool because TVZ is the best matchup here. But let me try and do a couple things here behind the scene. Smoke, where is he? Uh-oh. Smoke's AFK, guys. No. Smoke. We need you, man. Come on. There will be. I can after the GP. That's bloody Rafe. If y'all are willing to wait. Okay, so all of this stuff is on the way here. OMG. Yeah, Smoke spilled coffee on his keyboard. Oh. Let's see. Anything else we need to do around here before we get into this next game? We may be having a 5-minute break just to get Smoke his keyboard fixed. You guys stream the finals. Oh, don't do that, Smoke. So you guys can't really see this, but don't worry. But you really don't want to hear that. Let me.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. All right. Let me just keep doing stuff behind the scenes here. If you don't hear me, that's not going to be awkward silence. It's just going to be me. and trying to get all this stuff around so you guys don't have to worry about it. It's my password. And I think that should work. I'm trying to make it so I can see you guys in game. But I'm just going to put on some music while we wait for these guys to get going. We're in the lobby just waiting on Smoke to clean up. So we'll be right back, guys. Before I do that, Juan of Spain, if you are in the chat, they are looking for you in-game for your third place game. Back to the music.
Make sure you get all your paper.
Okay, guys. Smoke just needed a bit. He said he's ready now. So he just spilled coffee all over his keyboard. We've all been there. I don't drink coffee, but I've spilled plenty of things on a keyboard before. I should not be admitting that because there are people who can get me in trouble for that right now, right here. Mainly because it wasn't my keyboard. But we're hopping into game number 2 on Coda LE. It's going to be another PvZ, as it's going to be for this entire series, mainly because they are Protoss and Zerg, and it's one series. And let's wait until this loads up. All the players are in the map. All the pieces are in order. This is a best of 7. Smoke pauses the game. That gives me a good chance to get all this stuff done. Let's see. That's a 0. That's a 1. And let's see what's wrong with Smoke. Uh-oh. Alright, we don't need him to be in the game to, yeah, I do actually want to get the introductions when they're in game. What's the problem here, Smoke? You're good. Alright. He probably just needed more time to get the coffee off his keyboard. So, while we are here, the Gold and Platinum Finals are going to be taken care of on Pluto's channel. I did not want to click on that, but let's refresh the page here. And these are your 2 finalists. Some Invictus is going to be playing for 3rd place with Juan of Spain. Juan of Spain actually isn't showing up for the moment here. Wasn't even at the computer. Remake. Uh-oh. Okay, so his hotkey messed up. So we're just going to remake this game. Honestly, we didn't really need to remake that game just because, you know, there were still 6 workers. But other than that, we're gonna get back into the game. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're just waiting on the party now. We're gonna try this one more time. Well, hopefully one more time. I've had times when we've had to do this like 3 or 4 times just because wrong map, then wrong mod. They tried that one time, accidentally put on Big Game Hunters, which you guys know how that would kind of go in an official tournament setting. But other than that, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get some Invictus this time. I know some of you guys were looking forward to him. So I do have some games of him, by the way. The Bronze, Silver, and Gold tournament on Wednesday, I was able to cast him. So if you want, you can look at the VODs from that. I also have it on youtube.com/gamersteed. If you want to see your buddy some Invictus, I'm sorry I didn't get the chance. These tournaments are really messed up sometimes. We get errors, people don't show up. But don't worry about it, these are still a blast to come to. And we're just having a problem with this, no one's accepting. And it's not showing. Weird. Bloody Rafe has cancelled already. Pause this. Trying one more time. 3rd time's the charm. Like half the time it's the charm. What's going on? Smoke just left. Oh boy. Oh boy, Smoke DC'd. There we go, he's back online. Let's try this one more time, guys. Like, 5th time's the charm. How about that? Thank you guys for your patience. Usually it doesn't go like this. But, yeah, sometimes, you know how Blizzard can be a bit buggy sometimes. Yes, okay. Okay, Smoke's hotkey is fixed. Jimmy Hot's is fixed. Okay, Blade Rafe says change your race. Smoke's had his problems fixed. Jimmy Hot's had his problems fixed. And Smoke, Jimmy Hot's, game number 2, Coda LE, take 6, maybe. I don't know, I lost count about 3 ago. But we're hopping straight into game number 2 on Coda LE in this best of 7 series. Awkward silence. Awkward silence. Close that. Do that. So, before I fix all this stuff, spawning down here in the bottom position of Coda LE, representing All In, it's Jimmy Hotz. And up here in the top position, representing Born Gosu, it's Smoke. So let's fix this. Smoke does not have 7 wins in this best of 7. That does not even make sense. But we saw a really good game out of Jimmy Hotz there. Smoke trying to be aggressive with that 4 gate. Didn't really get the damage done that he needed to. He did get 11 drones, but they were able to be remade very quickly. And from there, Jimmy Hotz just put on all the aggression, forced the Smoke back a few times, and that's really what won him the game. He didn't overextend with his aggression too much. He did lose his entire attack 1 time, but that was not enough to deter him. Smoke not really using his chrono boost here. I feel like he should, but I'm not in game, so I can't really tell them to use it. And he's just going to go for a standard gateway first, it looks like, on the other side of the map. I did not see this, but I do now. Smoke just wanting to be the best Protoss he can be. He's going to get a scout off, see that there is a pool first, but that's not going to stop him. 2 gates are very powerful against Zerg, but will he throw down a 2nd gate to make this a 2 gate, or is this a 1 gate? On the other side of the map, we do have a couple overlords scouting around. And this drone, gonna go for that hatchery. Eventually. You got it, man. There we go. He was a little hesitant at first. He didn't really want to become a building, just because he's seen the lifespan not be too well. Pylon over here trying to sell that this is a cannon rush. Cancels it immediately after Jimmy Hotz sees it. And this drone knows something is up. He still hasn't seen the 1 gate on the other side of the map, but there are enough pylons here to make sure that there is no supply block. And will there be enough Zerglings out is the question. And will that even matter? See, over here, if you put a Zealot in here, you get 2 Zerglings able to attack him at the same time. But 2 Zerglings do not equal 1 Zealot. But the first one, just going to hang out for a moment here. Cybernetics Core on the way back at home. So you can start making Stalkers as well to satiate this attack. I think that's how you use the word. Don't quote me on that, people. But the queen, it's going to be very important here. He needs as much larva as possible. He's going to wait for that third stalker. Not stalker, those are zealots. But he's going to wait for the third one of his units before he decides to go aggressive here. The Overlord hasn't seen anything. That is very key here. One drone scout would have changed everything. You would have thrown down a lot more Zerglings, but here comes the attack. It's going to go straight for that queen. That gets taken out. There's no inject over here. And that dies relatively quickly. This drone going to be a sacrifice. It's going to go for the hatchery for a second there before microing a bit more. And we got a Roach Warren and a Spine Crawler on the way. He knows this is not too good for him. But that hatch is dead. There's nothing he can really do to save it at this point. He's going to make a lot of Zerglings try and defend. He's going to start working down those Zealots, but the Zealots, very powerful units. And they're in a way that you can just get as many as you need to attack as many Zerglings as you need. These Broodlings going to try and do some work, but Broodlings aren't the best unit against this. They're pretty useless, actually. But we do have the Roach Warren finished. Roaches are so powerful against Zealots. Will he have the gas for them is the question here. These Zerglings just chilling out up here, making sure that nothing comes up. These two queens have to be careful here. Needs to inject as importantly as he did a few seconds ago. One queen will die immediately. But for now, the Zealots are cleaned up. Two Zerglings on the other side, making sure that pylon dies. He has not seen this gateway just yet. But the Mothership Core on the other side of the map. One Mothership Core I don't think beats a queen, but I don't know the math behind it. But this is going to trigger Hots to attack. He has seen that gateway with an Overlord. He's going to take that out. That sentry will not see the light of day. And, I mean, really, Smoke doesn't have too much on the other side of the map. He has two photon cannons, but they can just be walked past. We do have that Mothership Core and that Queen. The Battle of the Mothers going on right now. Will it be enough? Who will win? The Mothership Core dies because it tries to micro back. That pylon going to get taken out. Hots taking a resounding lead in terms of army supply. There's no gateway on the other side of the map, so sentries aren't going to be out in time. Photon cannons can be walked past. There's no wall. Will Hots decide to be aggressive with this is the question here. And behind this, we do have the second hatchery. The Nexus has been done for a while, so he's going to take that income lead just barely. Excuse me. And the Zealots aren't really there either. There's not any units whatsoever. Really needs that sentry out immediately. Will he warp in a sentry, or will he try something else? Maybe make a stalker, try and do some micro. Zergling's going to check for that third base. Roach is going to follow straight behind it. They do not have speed though, so reinforcement is going to be a bit of an issue. The lair is not complete at all, so speed is not going to be there for a bit. You could move one queen down, but here comes the attack. Just getting some free damage off those cannons are. It's going to focus down the pylon. Very good choice there. And depower both at once. And he can move up the ramp. The sentry is on the wrong side. He's warping down on the low ground. And that sentry not going to get what he needs done. Photon overcharge, but he can just go into the main if he decides to. Still trying to focus down that stalker. One more zealot being warped in. The wall still not complete. Hosh is taking way more damage than he needs to right now. Needs to retreat. Or go up the ramp, rather. But he's not going to do that. But yeah, Photon Overcharge shuts this attack down. Not the best attack out of Hots, but what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? What he's going to do is make more roaches, a couple more drones, try and transition out of this. He is behind in workers at the same time. That's not good as a Zerg player. You usually want about 70. But he's going to retreat for now. He's a bit supply blocked. Got one Overlord on the way. He's not really mining too efficiently. Yeah, he is way oversaturated up here. He's losing a lot of income because of that. If he transferred some workers down, make it 16 up here, then 16 down here, he would be in a much better position economy-wise. That mothership core does not have the energy for another photon overcharge, so this attack is a bit scarier. However, +1 is done for Smoke. +1, especially as a Protoss player, going against unupgraded units is very good. Hot's just kind of hanging out here in the middle of the map. And behind us we do have the Immortal Maker, the robotics facility, going down near the front with that Artosis pylon. If that goes down, there's going to be a world of hurt here. 2 sentries have been warped in. 6 more drones, so both players trying to transition out. He did bring workers down. That's really good for him. The Queen needs to get that inject in. Queen down here gets his inject off. Inject up here has not been done yet, but that's alright. He has a few larvae just ready for use. And this is going to trigger another attack out of Hots. He really doesn't want anything else to happen. Smoke looks like he was trying to go for a third base. It's not going to be made. Those photon cannons may be a bit tricky for Hots to really deal with. We do have a Hydra Den as well. Has Immortals been made yet? No, he is rushing directly to what do you call those things? Colossus, which are going to be really good against Hydralisks. Not as good against these guys, the Roaches, but we'll have to see. It looks like on the back of this as well, we have a drone going out to take a third base. It's going to put him ahead in the base count, which is where you want to be. Hydralisks 9 about to pop in a couple seconds here. Those are very fast to make. 33 seconds in game. And Hot's just trying to keep the pressure on, making sure that nothing really moves out. But, I mean, Smoke could essentially move out here. That one Immortal does so much DPS, and there are so few Roaches here. Get a few free shots off on that Photon Overcharge. Takes down one pylon. Nowhere near supply blocking his opponents in Smoke. But the Hydra's moving across the map. We have Goliath Reconstitution here, making sure that those units get across the map a lot quicker. But I mean, he just doesn't want to. He doesn't want Smoke to expand by this point. That would be very bad for him. It's gonna warp in a couple Colossus with Hallucination. If those are targeted down, that's going to be huge for Smoke. That's a lot of DPS not going towards actual units. But did he actually see that being warped in using that method is the question here. Excuse me. But this is a scary army for Smoke. He has enough units to really attack this. +1 Carapace on the way, by the way. Lair has been finished for a while there. One pylon goes down. That's almost supply blocking him. But Photon Overcharge popped a bit prematurely there. But here comes Hot. It'd be a problem if he force fields. A lot of Photon Overcharge damage being done, as well as a lot of cannon damage. The Colossus trying to do some work, but they are not real. And this is a whole attack from Hots gets taken out. He's still streaming units across the map. They need to back up and regroup. With that Guardian Shield, that takes away 75% of unit damage, I believe. A couple more pylons. Going to get out of that supply block in a moment here. On the other side of the map, Hots just doesn't really have the economy to help himself out here. Where did all his drones go is the question. Did he lose a lot? No, he hasn't. I feel like he had a lot more workers than he did for some reason here. Did he morph them into buildings? I don't know. It's going to be the case of the missing workers as we continue on. But these two Hydras trying to be a hero on the other side. Not going to protect the watchtower. That Overlord dies immediately. Too much DPS for him to handle. And we do have the first Colossus on the way. A real Colossus this time. It does real DPS, real AoE. And I mean, Smoke just in a very commanding position here. He has enough to take his Nexus on the other side of the map. This Phoenix just kind of scanning around. Has not really seen that third base. Gonna check for a fourth. Bit paranoid there. If a fourth base is allowed to get up, that's going to be huge in terms of production as well as just basic economy. That's StarCraft 101. But he really needs to get these workers off that 12% mineral patch. Other than that, he's got a lot of Roach Hydra here. He could try and transition if he had the minerals to it. He's a bit supply block at the moment. Got one more Overlord in his production tab. Two more Overlords, so he doesn't get supply block. One Colossus, I mean, if you see this guy, if you see this on ladder, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh gosh, it's a Protoss death ball. No blink on these Stalkers, no Zealots really to speak of. But this is still a lot more than what Jimmy Hotz has. It's 78 to 105 in the army count. We'll have to see. He is going to have +1 Carapace probably before this attack comes around. That's going to help out a bit, but he needs a lot more units than what he has. Just going to pump out as many as possible. He did get a lot more drones out, but he's still way oversaturated up here. That's going to hurt his income. On the back, maybe he decides to base race. That would be huge. Smoke warping in 3 hallucinated Colossus here. That's big, but this guy knows what's up. I didn't get to see it in time, but Spinecross actually focusing down the wrong Colossus here. Hotz deciding to come back to defend. That's not the best choice here. His only option is to base race. At this point, you can't really engage this, especially not streaming in. He does do a bit of damage, but 15 drones have gone down. Smoke force fields off this army. Will it actually be enough? He force fields off the rest, but that one force field is about to die. Good concave out of Hot, but it's just not enough. His entire army gets incinerated. And that's going to be game. GG. Smoke takes back the series to 1-1. And we're going into game number 3. All tied up. So no rest for the weary. We are not the weary just yet. And third map is going to be Terraform. This is a map I think favors Zerg in this way because it has so many different attack paths. You can get Ling run-bys around without engaging the army directly. But we'll have to see. I mean, stranger things have happened before. Excuse me one moment while I get some stuff fixed. Okie doke. Asking for the ready. Smoke says ready. Is my mic on? I'm so paranoid sometimes about my mic. But I'm getting back in the game. We got 4 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. So the series is tied 1-1. It's still a best of 7, so we have 3 more games to go at least. Smoke couldn't find his edge in that first game, but with the Zealot harassment, doing a little bit, taking out the Queens, kind of forcing Hotz back, he was able to take game number 1 by snowballing. So, these guys are tied at 1, and up here, representing all in, it is Jimmy Hotz. That isn't a simulator. Let's try that again. It is Jimmy Hotz. Not the best, but I'm no Funka. And down here, representing Born Gosu, it is Smoke. It is Smoke. So after that showing, I feel like Smoke, if he wants to, could just try and be a bit more aggressive in the early game. He saw what it did for him, and he is going to hide a probe. Well, yeah, he's going to hide it. That Overlord not getting wind of it. So what is he going to decide to do this game? He tried 4 gating. He's tried 1 gating. Will he try the same? He's going full Protoss in this series. It's a good thing to see sometimes, but not if you're Jimmy Hots. We do have this one Overlord gonna spot this eventually, but this is gonna be a cannon rush. I don't entirely disagree with this decision. It's really hard to cannon rush a Zerg, however. It's gonna be pool first, so that's just gonna make it that much harder if this is indeed a cannon rush. But awkward silence, not enough here. Will it be a cannon or will it be a gateway? We're still waiting on the minerals to decide. Forge is complete, so if he wants to throw down a cannon... Okay, so he's not going to throw down anything yet. He's going to wait for the hatchery to finish. Well, not finish, but never mind. He throws down the cannon. Is that in range? It's not in range of vision. That Overlord didn't go far enough. But this Overlord is going to get into that base, and will he have the reaction time, rather, to really defend against this? We do have 2 closer cannons, still not in range. Jimmy Hots has no idea yet. Got another photon cannon. This base is dead. Like, he needs to cancel it. He still hasn't seen anything, though. It's going to finish. He saw the probe for a split millisecond there, but now he sees it. He finally sees it. No, he doesn't. He still doesn't see it. Now he's going to see it. He needs to cancel. Go for that third. Go for that third just anywhere he can. And he does the right decision here. The Zergling getting out. Behind this, he's not going to throw down the second base just yet. But he needs to get out of there. That photon cannon is about to kill the drone. Clutch. So where's this guy going? He's going to go for that third base. He knows that he needs that second base, so he's going to get it. Zergling just outside the front, making sure that nothing comes down. Behind this, we do have a fast Roach Warren. No lair just yet. But that hatchery is almost finished there. Not almost finished, rather. It's just there. But a late gas. It's going to be harder to get these roaches out. Mainly because they cost gas. 3 larvae. Doing his injects quite well. And on the back of this, we do have the gateway and the cybernetics core. This cannon rush, pretty successful, but you still can hold off the ramp. And Smoke rather is committing very heavily to this. That's a lot of minerals just on photon cannons. We have 4 plus this 1 on the way. But we have a base on the other side of those cannons. He can just make all his roaches here. I don't know. It's starting to look a bit shifty for both players. There's no wall off. Photon cannon going in here, making sure that no roaches get in. But I don't know. It's still very hard to call here. It's going to come down to a bit of micro and a bit of other things. Rather, all things considered, I'm starting to lose English. Like, I downloaded my English.exe file yesterday, but I'm just losing my English. Don't worry about it, guys. On the back of this, Jimmy Hots just massing units here. Got a couple zealots trying to wall off. You know what I'd like to see actually out of Jimmy? A Nidus Worm. But he's gonna try and break this. He doesn't have enough units. Those Zerglings just die so quick, and he's gonna lose a lot here. If he loses that Overlord, that's a big pickup, but he doesn't. Roach is still beefier, able to get one building that is called a photon cannon. Gets it unpowered, so he's down to just these 4. If you unpower this one, I think you get this cannon only, because these 3 are controlled by that one. One queen gonna go out to the other side of the map, and the roach is gonna come in, try and do cleanup once again. This time they are going to get it. They're gonna aim for the pylons, but that's not really what they need to do. These pylons are not really what's powering this. It's gonna back off for now. More roaches on the way, and behind this, we don't really have too much tech coming out of smoke. So if Jimmy Hots wanted to go across the map, I mean, he pretty much has free reign to do so. He has full map control. These photon cannons not going to harass him anymore. They will spot when he moves out because it has full view of him. But, I mean, he just has the army advantage by 28-8. That is a huge deal. He needs to focus down the photon cannons this time. Can't go for the pylon. Focusing it down one by one. He's going to finally clean this up. It's really good for him. If he gets that pylon, it's going to end this nightmare that is the Protoss cannon rush. And he's going to be able to take his natural once again. Photon cannon at the front, +1 on the way. Warp gate has completed. And these roaches just kind of chilling out. They fought their way through heaven and hell to get to where they are. And they just staring down that one pylon. Just kind of harassing Smoke, saying, yeah, what do you got that I don't? But he's now going to transfer workers over. Make sure he has good saturation on both his bases. The lair halfway complete, so speed will be in the cards soon. +1, nowhere near get ready because the Evo chamber is not done. But he could still do a lot of damage if he decided to move across the map. There's no real wall off and no real sentry with energy to defend. Photon overcharge is good, but if you force it out, it's going to make it a follow-up attack a lot more powerful. I'm looking at this game trying. Okay, so 3 sentries do warp in. That's going to help out a lot in defense. But Smoke still doesn't have that natural expansion. He does have a pylon on the other side of the map to start warping in as soon as Hots decides to move out. But both players deciding to go for that macro game that they really were denied in the first game. And we do have the Hydralist in. This is a standard Roach Hydra play. Roaches so beefy against the units of Protoss, and the Hydra's massive amounts of DPS. On the other side, we do have that Nexus going down. What's that button do? It does that. And Smoke's actually doing a perfect game right now. That is really cool for him. He killed 25 workers. Not 25 workers, but 25 units, which severely makes this attack less effective. He's going to move out, Jimmy's Hots is, but will it be enough? He's not going to be able to break this front. 3 photon cannons, enough sentries to force field your army out. Yeah, that's not a very good attack out of Jimmy Hots. But he is going to wait for a +1 attack, it looks like. Goliath Reconstitution, aka Roach Speed, is almost done. Going to get these reinforcements out. The Observer is going to see that. It's going to focus down one pylon. It's going to unpower one of these photon cannons. And Smoke starting to force it out. Really, he should have done it on the other side, just so they could do more damage to Jimmy Hot's army. But to each his own, I feel. Warp Prism coming out on the other side of the map. This pylon, I mean, he could have just used the pylon, but, you know, it's a floating pylon. That's a lot funnier, a lot cooler. 2 pylons going down, another photon cannon right there. More sentries for the energy. Hot's just kind of doing a soft contain. It is 36-72, but those photon cannons just do massive amounts of damage. 20 damage, and there's no real care if they're armored or not. Observer just gonna tail the army for a bit, make sure that it doesn't decide to attack once again. And the Warp Prism comes home. That may have been an F2A move, but it can't really go on top of this army because the Hydralisks do so much against it. on the back of this, I mean, Smoke doesn't really have an army to speak of, but I mean, sentries are one of those units where you don't really need an army for them to be cost effective. Good concave out of Jimmy Hotz. He's going to try and focus down what he can. Focus down the photon cannon. Photon overcharge on the way. This may be too much. The force field not blocking the units out. Sentries dying left and right. These guys not attacking though. He does need to micro them a bit. Will it be enough? Jimmy Hotz's supply is just waning here. He's going to back off for now. He's still far ahead in army count. He's going to engage this once again. Focus down the sentry. No more force fields in this army. Warping from the back of Zealots. And on the back of this entire army gets taken out. Hotz can engage into this a bit. Photon overcharge though is still active. He can't really do too much. And he's just going to kill these units before they even go. Photon overcharge has finished though. The mothership core nowhere to be seen because it is dead. And Hotz is going to kill this base. That's a huge pickup for him. It's going to be 1 base to 3. And I mean, Hotz has this game in the bag at this point, I feel. Once that base dies, Smoke is just too far behind. He doesn't have enough production to really engage this. And the stream of units across the map. He's going to try result warping on the other side. Smoke is. But Hotz just moving up the ramp. They go straight for the probe line. And all the probes are going to die on the other side of the map. The drones are getting killed off. But the reinforcements are going to be able to stop that. Mothership core goes down as soon as it's built. An Immortal on the way, but that could be easily be cancelled if so choosing. Zergling's taking out the Photon Cannon. 1 Immortal already there. The Hydralisks are enough to deal with that. And this base does die. 19 workers have died, but 29. That was literally all the probes that Smoke has. With that Nexus dying, that's GG. Doesn't have the minerals to rebuild it. Doesn't have the units to defend. And he doesn't have the income to sustain an army. Smoke has not rebuilt their base. And he's just going to try and do whatever he can for the moment. He's actually... yeah, he actually had no APM there, so GG. Hotz takes game number 2. So Hotz 2 games away, Smoke is 3. Both players just doing what they need to do, but Hotz just doing it a little bit better to win that game. But yeah, great series so far out of our players. If you want to see the other series, the Gold and Platinum series, SC2 Pluto is taking care of that on his channel, twitch.tv/SC2 Pluto. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's really a pleasure, my pleasure to cast for you guys today. And we've got game number 4. We're in the lobby just waiting for our admin Bloody Rafe to get us started. So if you guys have missed this, you probably didn't, mainly because you're in the chat watching right now. But in case you want to rewatch this game, it will be on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/gamersteed, as well as in the highlights section of this channel, twitch.tv/passer2300. You can follow me at passergaming2 on Twitter. And that's all my plugs for this series. I'll do it again at the end just because I like saying it for some weird reason. It's a narcissist thing. But here we go. In the game, spawning in the bottom position, down 1. Representing Born Gosu, it's our green Protoss, Smoke. And down here in the bottom position, one of the worst spawn locations if you're anything but Zerg, representing all in, it's our orange Zerg, Jimmy Hotz. Now, the positions here is something interesting. Smoke actually not making any units. His APM is 0. So it looks like he's gonna go for a Nexus first, maybe? Uh-oh. Did he crash or something? This may be a problem here. Jimmy Hot's still in the game, but Smoke not making any units. I think he crashed. He's got to be either crashed or laggy. He has selected his Nexus, but that's the only thing he's done. Uh-oh. I mean, we may have to remake this game. I don't know what is gonna happen. Looks like Smoke is gonna forfeit because his keyboard is messed up. That's why we saw 0 APM, so that's probably gonna do it for the series. But yeah, I think that's it. Maybe. But yeah, said his keyboard was bad asking. Yeah, that is a bit of a problem there. Don't be spilling things on your keyboard, guys. Especially not in the finals of a big tournament like this. This is the ESL. This is ESL, man. They make everything in terms of esports good. But we'll have to wait to see what Smoke wants to do. We're gonna give him a couple minutes here. I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys. So the third place game, some Invictus got a default win. One of Spain forgot that there was going to be a third place game. So some Invictus takes third place in the Platinum Gold tournament. And other than that, congratulations to Jimmy Hot, the winner. Other than that, guys, we don't have too much else. I'm gonna see what else we got around here. They are playing it now. Cubo versus Yorkie. It's on Pluto's stream. I don't see him. Okay, so Jimmy Hotz is the winner of the tournament. That means Smoke takes second place and Yared takes third. So Jimmy wins by making his opponent Misfortune. Okay, I'm trying to look around here, see if there's anything else. If there's nothing in the next couple of seconds, I'm just gonna put it over to the... I'm gonna just put the... You know what? We've done everything we could here. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Passer from Passer Gaming. You can find me on Twitter at PasserGaming2. You can, if you have any replays you want casted, send them to PasserGaming@outlook.com. And you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/gamersteed. They don't all look the same. Don't ask. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time.